Big news, everybody. Ellis, mate, Big Zaddy Jace Cakes has got new merch, and it's global. Hey, Canada, remember how you were like, man, I can't get T-shirts and boards? You can now. Hey, Australia, oh, g'day. Remember you were like, mate, where can I get a skateboard? You can. TheJasonEllis.com. New merch. El Rey Art did this stuff. I buy stuff off this guy, and then he made this design for me. It's sick. It's a cowboy wolf. And then I got me doing a horse wheel on a skateboard. Signed by me, Big Zaddy Jace Cakes. You can get it all now. Canada, Australia, America, all g'day. TheJasonEllis.com. Get them now. Hey everybody, welcome to the Jason Ellis Show
2.0.
Yeah, 2.0. I'm struggling. First of all, I'm tired and jet lagged. I'm puffy and I'm having an existential crisis. I don't even know what that is.
Existential.
I don't want to say it correctly because if you don't know what it means, that's how you should say it. Because I don't really know what that means. I just feel like it's like I have a mental disability. I'm like, what is it? I don't know. You know, that's the thing. Like I am starting to understand now that people say things about people and then people copy. And then the next thing you know, a bunch of people are saying things that they suffer from that they don't suffer from. You know, and I think it started from gluten.
I got him.
Thank you. Sorry, my co-host he is also a little. Rumblebean needs a Rumblebean. He needs an intro song. Sorry, dude. It's an early show, so I didn't think you wanted to be a part of it. Usually this is your nap time. You coming up? Well, then come on then. I know. I started the show early because, Zach was like, I'm ready right now. And I was like, well, I'm ready right now. And I'm like, well, let's get it out of the way because it's kind of like ripping the Band-Aid off today. Because it's mixed emotions, ladies and gentlemen. Mixed emotions. Part of me is proud of me, and part of me is absolutely disgusted in me. I just was like, you're gonna do it. $10,000. This is this thing where it's like, okay, so let me just, if those of you that don't understand what's going on, which is fair, there's this thing at Tim Pool's skate park. And, oh, Tim Pool, you're a racist and a Russian spy. I don't care. They talk about politics so much. I don't, even if I wanted to care, I couldn't. I just don't care. I was in the car with them all and they were all talking about, I don't, at one point somebody said, if we haven't seen, someone was like, we've seen more of space than we have the ocean. And someone was like, if that's the case, like, we know we eat sushi. We've never had space sushi. And I was like, right. I just like boobs and donuts. And I'm going to keep it there. There was a time there where I used to hang out with I'm not going to say the name. Well, Dak Shepard, he's a nice guy, but he is a libtard. And it was right when Trump was about to be the first time president. And I think he won. And everyone was like, oh, no. Like, hey, Jason, how do you feel? And I was like, I don't know. And they were like, what do you mean you don't know? And I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry, but I don't really know what's happening. And I know this is going to sound bad. I don't care. Especially after this weekend. I could have died this weekend. Like, seriously. This vert wall thing that no one's ever done, and I'm starting to understand why. It's like 7 foot of vert into this transition, but the way they've made it is the line to make it. This is the other thing that I've realized. Really, Rumblebean? Just that much of an appearance and then you're out of here? I got it. Unbelievable, dude. Get out. Unbelievable. It's like they fucking own the place. I want to get up. I want breakfast. Unbelievable. Like having kids again. It's like having a retarded child. 3 of them. It's like I'm done with children. But no, wait. Let me get 3. And I shouldn't. Okay, now that's going to sound bad. 3 special needs children. Okay? There you go. Because I think when it comes to this one, I should use the correct terminology. I have 3 special needs children. Actually, 4. I have a dog that can't, I don't think she can smell. I think she's lost her smell. Oh my God. She can't see. I don't think she can hear too good. And yesterday, I threw some French fries at her and she couldn't smell them because usually she'll smell where the food is and get it. But she just went straight past the French fry and I was like, oh no. She's basically, darkness imprisoned me. All that I see, absolute horror. I cannot live. I cannot die. Those of you that don't know that, you should probably Google Metallica's One. Because if you don't know that song, you should know that song so that you can progress in life and understand that there was actually great music before the poopy caca of today's music. Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying. Jelly roll these nuts. I don't care. Lick everybody's butt if you want to. Oh my God, I'm your biggest fan. I'm not. I don't care. Also, I don't even know the guy. I got a lot of tattoos. I'm in movies. Very approachable. I'm a rapper. I'm a country guy. My Post Malone seems like a nice guy. Worst music. I don't care. I don't like it. Metallica's way better than Post Malone. Way better. Way better. But the image, it's cool. I got a lot of tattoos. But man, he can rap. Can he do? Yeah, that's cool. You're basic. You're basic. And that's where it's like when it's a chess match with basics where I'm like, I'm over here and you go, is it? And then I'll go, bam. And then you're dead. And now I'm the king of the castle. That's why bold people are stronger. If we fight, hair's going to get in your eyes. You're not going to see the next blow. God was like, Jason, you need no hair in front of your eyes because war is coming for you. You need to be ready to defend the people that you care about. And that's what we need to do. We need to defend the people that we care about. And having hair in front of your face, you're bitch made. Oh, you're bringing up the vert wall? Well, it does look pretty bad from there.
Yeah, man. Looks really bad.
But the thing you can't see is when you get to, if you do make the drop in and you get to the bottom, the ramp immediately comes, the deck comes in. So there's a line that's about a foot wide where you'll go down it. And as soon as you get to the bottom, you have to turn in towards the wall or you'll go off the side of the quarter pipe And then there's another ledge in front of that where, because I was looking at it, I was trying to understand like where I'm going to go. And I'm like, dude, if you go off the side there, then there's just like a 2-foot deck that's off the side. So you would run into that. So your legs would potentially land right in front of that. And then you would probably like break both your legs. So there was like a lot of obstacles, and there were people that were still skating, and there's nothing big enough to warm up and understand, like to get your legs ready. So basically I was just like jumping up and down trying to warm up, and I jumped down it like maybe 5 times without my board to try to like get a feel of the transition, and I could not go down the vert. I think it goes past vert, because every time I dropped down, I just fell to the bottom, and I was like, wait, if I'm falling out towards the bottom, that means when I actually drop in, I'm just gonna fall out towards the bottom, which means I'm just going to land at the bottom. And I'm like, man, that's like, it's 9-foot transition and 7 foot on top of that. Like, do the math, but it's, it's like, what is that? 15? I don't know what 9 times.
There's 11 feet of vert on a 5-foot transition.
Wait, that's what it says?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It's not doable. It's not a human thing.
Oh, somebody could do it. I'm telling you, in skateboarding, there's people. That's the other thing. Like, I was telling my girlfriend last night. I'm really lucky, but she didn't share with me how worried she was before I went. But she said when I called her and said I can't do it, that she was super happy and super proud of me. She was like, I really don't want you to do it. And that's, it's like, if you make it, you get 10 grand. And I'm like, those of you that know the show, it's not that bad over here, right? Like, I can eat. But I have been, financially, I make enough money to pay my rent and eat. And that's it, like I have these credit card debt things that I have to pay every month. Where I'm not crying about it, I'm just telling you what it is. It's okay, like I have a pool in my backyard. I'm not that, honestly, I probably would live in an apartment if I didn't have all these pets, but I had all the pets when I had the money. And now I'm not gonna, basically I make it every month. I just make it every month. Sometimes I don't, but I usually make it every month, because the option of like putting my animals down or giving them away, it's not in me. I can't do it. I would rather, I'd rather go bankrupt basically than be like, hey, does anybody want my dogs? I've thought about it. I think at one point I was actually going to do it, and then I was like, I can't do it. And some of them are annoying, but they're my family. But, recently, comedy's been doing better. Very lucky. The Patreon's still doing well. Patreon.com/EllisMate if anybody wants to sign up. 4 shows a week there. Black Rifle sponsors me. That's a huge help. And then being on the boonies is also a bit of a help as well. Not, it's not like some life-changing thing, but it's definitely, I think it's more the boonies sponsoring me and me seeing myself as kind of a professional skateboarder. It has given me like this thing where I'm like, I'm skating, and this has been like 3 weeks. It's so crazy how fast I move, especially for being this old. So I've been skating for like 3 weeks, right? I've skated maybe I think 7 times in 3 weeks. You're talking to a guy that usually skates 1 time every 2 months. So 7 times in 3 weeks. The last time I skated vert, Bucky was like, has anyone seen Ellis? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't know who you are, dude. Like, I don't know who this guy is, but it's pretty cool. And I was like, thanks, man. And I'm like, I'm getting it back. But if I am to compare what the best I've done recently at Tony's vert ramp to how I used to skate, I would be so depressed the way I skate now. I'm so bad. So I'm just nowhere near as good as I used to be. And that kind of, you don't skate all the time and you're 53. But I got it in my head where if I skate, it's just a straight line. It's not that hard. And then when I got there, I had to judge a game of skate. And the whole time I'm judging the game of skate, the vert wall is right there. And I'm just looking at it the whole time. I'm having an outer body experience the whole time. I'm like, I'm up there. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Sounds good. I'm up there. And then I'm looking at it from the bottom and I'm like, you can do it. I get all my pads on. They move stuff out of the way. People are still skating. And I go up there because I'm like, I can't warm up. There's nothing here that is higher than 3 feet. So it's like, it's almost a curse to try to skate a quarter pipe because I don't want my legs to think that that's what's about to happen because it's not similar. So I go up there and I get up there and I look down and I go, because now I kind of have more of an eye on what it takes to make skateboard tricks because I've been skating a lot. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, it doesn't look makeable. And then, this has happened to me before. It's weird. I was watching, somebody was like, do you have any video? 'Cause there's a documentary that's coming out about me. Oh, I hope it's nice. But they were like, do you have any footage from the Tony Hawk tour? And I looked on YouTube and I was like, yeah, it's all on YouTube. And I clicked on one and it was me jumping out of a 20-foot rafter into this little quarter pipe with no pads on, no helmet. And I was like, oh my God. And I remember that day, like a little bit of it. And, the interviews, like Chris Markovich is a very famous, legendary skateboarder. And he goes, pretty much the gnarliest thing I've ever seen anyone do on a skateboard is Jason Ellis jumping 20 foot into like a 5-foot quarter pipe. He's like, do the math. Like, how does that even make any sense? And I tried it maybe 8 times until I landed it and the board snapped in half while I was on it. So I kind of made it and I kind of didn't. But I definitely went for it, which is kind of the whole point. Like, but it was crazy. And then Bucky and Tony going, man, I can't believe you tried to do that. And I'm like, this is these guys in their prime. And I was like, yeah, man, like, that's me, I go for it. And I remember when I was up on that rafter that I'd already been a professional skateboarder. I'd had my day. I'd gone through some stuff, and drugs and alcohol became a big, to run from the pain of everything. It became a thing. And at one point, this is after I was in Australia and I got addicted to the H word. And I was hanging out with sex workers and doing that drug and getting ready to die. At one point I OD'd. That was probably one of the first rock bottoms. And that was where I was like, okay, I'll never do that again. And then I got a call about going back to America to do some stuff for ESPN. Next thing you know, I'm on Tony Hawk's gigantic skate park tour. And they wanted me to talk. I took it upon myself to skate. And then there was a street demo, which I'm not a good street skater, but I found a rafter to jump off because I was like, that'll be entertaining. Next thing you know, I'm doing stuff where my peers are like, that's the gnarliest thing I've ever seen anyone do. You know, and I think that it inspired a lot of people. After I started doing that stuff, some other people started doing some stuff similar to me. And I'm happy for that, you know? I'm happy people, like, you rip me off, I'm like, dude, just have it, you know? Like, if I was a part of inspiration that you took it even further or did the same thing and it entertained people, that's the bigger picture, you know? Like, I've been in this jealous form before in my life, and it's overrated. So, but I remember being on that rafter and looking down and going, I don't actually think it's possible to make that, but you're on the Tony Hawk tour. This is on television. It was on television. It was on ESPN. You thought you were done. At one point, you were basically dead in a park, unconscious after you'd just been robbed. And you just woke up freezing cold and walked off. Nobody, you know, I would have just been found in the park, stiff, in the morning. But something happened where my body woke up after taking so many things that I was completely unconscious and dragged somewhere, left for dead. And now here I am on a 20-foot rafter, jumping into this quarter pipe where nobody in skateboarding would even contemplate doing that. And I am nowhere near at my, in my athletical prime. Is athletical a word?
No.
Athletic prime.
Yes.
You can learn. But I remember standing on that rafter, the metal beam, and going, this is a time where you can be something. You can do something. Like, really, what I think, not registering later on that there was a video on television where legendary skateboarders, Chris Markovich, Bucky Lassick, and Tony Hawk, saying what Jason did today was incredible. And that's all I wanted, you know? All I wanted was the respect from my peers. And the saddest thing about it is, because I don't think I'm worth it. I don't think I'm anything, you know? It's like, if I don't try this, I'm nothing. And when you're nothing, you can risk it all because there's nothing to risk. It's hard to talk about because you know what I mean? Like, at the time, it was like, yeah, man, don't be a pussy. And it's like, it's not about being courageous here. You have no respect for your existence. You don't care if you live or die. And I know that sometimes, you know, like, if you're a soldier, here's another thing, man. If you're a soldier and people like disrespecting the troops, like, go fuck yourselves. The amount of videos and movies and things that I've seen where true stories of people's legs blown off and getting shot like 10 times, people that go back after they're being shot, like, none of us understand, you know, how we're just soft. And also, there's nothing wrong with being soft if you were raised soft. That's just what you are, you know? Like, can you flip it? Yeah. Is it going to be difficult? Oh, yeah. You know, like, there's no way that every soldier that's ever been in war was just born hard. You know, they got conditioned. And that's the other thing, like, bouncing back from it, you know, which is this thing for me where it's like, at one point I was prepared to die to earn the respect of my peers and maybe have somebody on the street go, man, Ellis, you jumped off that thing. Dude, that was solid. Like, I remember thinking, if you do this, you'll be famous. You know, in your little skateboard bubble, it will put you on the map. And justifying it on that beam, going, if I make this, people will love me. And it's like, dude, people already love you. The people that count love you. But you don't know that because you are stuck in this lonely bubble of trying to impress people at any cost. Any cost. And I remember watching that. Accidentally watching that. The day before I got on a plane to Washington to do that drop-in. And I remember going, man, that guy, that's still in here, you know? You can pull him out when you need to. And this weekend, you're going to need to pull him out. And I knew my girlfriend was worried. I didn't tell my kids. But I did post a photo of it, which was a very stupid thing to do, that I'm going to do this today. Then my son texted me about it and was like, Dad, please don't do it. Part of me was like, you don't know who you're talking to. And the other part was like, you are loved. People care about you. You care about you. You know? Remember, Jason, all the work you've put in on yourself, all the apologies you've made, all the life changes you've made. You're a good man. You don't need to do this, you know? And the financial situation. 10 G's, man. 10 G's when you're like, it's not that bad, but it's not that great, you know? Like, you know, a windshield's been broke for like 2 years, and it's getting fixed. But I didn't want to get it fixed because I didn't have the money to fix it. So 10 G's is like, it's a vacation, you know? I was like, I haven't been on vacation since I got let go by Sirius. That's not true. Brianna took me to Mexico. But that's like your friend paid for you to go. It's embarrassing. I love her, but that's embarrassing for me. Like, I don't have any money. And my friend is like, you're so stressed from overworking. Let me just take you. I've got connections. I can get you there. And I was like, okay. Bless her heart. But it was painful because I was just constantly reminded that I'm not paying for this. I like to pay my own way. Anyway, the money. I told my girlfriend, I was like, I'll get you some shoes. We'll get a new mattress for the bed. And we'll go to Costa Rica. Looking at videos on TikTok over and over again of like waterfalls. And I'm like, it's happening. I'm going. I'm going to do this thing. And then the other thing, I'm going to drop in down this thing and I'm going to post it. Everyone's going to post it. Skate News, Jason makes the drop in. And everyone will be like, whoa, you're man, Ellis, man, that is gnarly. Or my peers will be like, dude, that is gnarly. And I'll be like, yeah. I told you. I still got it, you know? And when I started jumping down this thing and exploding at the bottom without trying to drop in, just jumping. And I think by the fifth one where I just hit the bottom and was like, okay, that hurt. This isn't even, I haven't even tried to make it. And that hurt. How's that possible? This thing it just sends you out. You can't land in it. And I'm like, the last guy that tried it broke his femur. And I'm like, I'm starting to understand why. So the knowledge, common sense, value of life, because I really started to think, I was like, if you go for it, like I'm really adding it up. And I was like, there's a 20% chance you'll make it, maybe 25% chance. And if you don't make it, you're definitely going to hospital. You could hit your head. You could die, you know? You could die. You could break your back. Like this thing it's just built in a way where, you know, at my age, it's kind of disrespectful to me and the people that I care about to do it. And I just added it up and I had this war inside my head because I was like, you're not going to go for it? I'm like, you pussy. And I'm like, that's the devil, dude. Don't listen to him anymore. Like, yeah, I know the angry dark side of Jason that like pushes things and makes things happen. And then you get respect of what? What respect? You know? Like if I do it or I don't do it, is Tony Hawk still my friend? Yeah. If I do it or I don't do it, or people on social media love me or hate me, it doesn't matter. They don't really know who you are anyway. You don't know them. You know, you do it and you make it. Your kid's like, Dad. You know what I mean? Like you are you trying to kill yourself? You know, what does the message send? It's like trying to be this punk rock guy. I just had so many thoughts spinning around in my head, and the biggest one was my ego. My ego made me so sad. You know, and usually, because I've been here before, there's things I've done in skateboarding where I was like, you know what? I can't make it. I'm too scared. And that's kind of what I'm trying to admit. I'm scared. I'm scared of dying. You know, I just got here. I'm finally happy with nothing. And things can still jump on you and start to convince you otherwise. You know, I am still sober and very content with that. But like ego and money, you know, like, ooh, 10 grand, ooh, vacation, ooh. It's not a shiny thing, but it is a shiny thing. Ooh. You know what I mean? 7 days, no work, no people, and virgin pina coladas and you know, sleeping and having sex with my girlfriend and beach waterfront stand-up paddleboard. I don't know. Kayaking. I don't even want to kayak. Just gay. Snorkeling. There you go. All these things, shiny things promised if you commit to it. I'm like, commit to it. But the battle I had in my head, you know, what it takes, because I was going to do it, man. I was going to do it. I was going to put my life on the line for 10 G's. That's this thing that will now I'm more convinced than ever. It will never leave me. It's always there. It's like your addiction, man. People say like, you got to work on your sobriety because your addiction is in the gym lifting every day, waiting for your weak moment. You know, that's why some of us fold and go back. And that was a day. That was when the last time I dropped in and I realized I wasn't going to try and make it. I was so depressed and so dark. I took my pads off. I put them in my bag. And I walked straight out of the skate park. And I was going to walk back to the hotel. The hotel is probably, I would say, like 2 hours walk at least. Also, I don't know where it is. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't talk. I shut off. and there's a gate, and I was texting people saying, hey, can someone open the gate? And I didn't realize that there was a little gap where you could walk through. And that's when my son called me. And he was like, I don't want you to do it. I just saw the photo. Because I'm still having these waves of go back and do it with no pads on. That way you're forced to not bail at all. Like that, it's the devil to me. A voice in my head where it's like, just drop that bag right there, walk back in, go up, drop in, done. If there's people on the deck, smash into them. Get that money. You know? It's like we talk ourselves into these things that we think are so important, and to the point where it blinds us of what really matters. You know? Like I have a girlfriend at home that is doing everything she can to not tell me how scared she is that I'm going to try and do this. You know, people that know me that have seen it, I show people and people just were like, wow, man. Yeah. And I didn't realize because I was so caught up in it that what they were really trying to, because they, you know, in skateboarding, you can't say, dude, don't do that. You can't say that. That's gonna, so you can only say, yeah, man, that's crazy, you know? But I don't think anybody that really cares about me wanted me to do that. And I think I kind of can see it now because now that I haven't done it, everyone's like, man, I'm just glad you're okay. Those are the people that really care. Those are the people that really matter. That is what really matters in life. You know, doing some cool stuff so you get a pat on the back or you receive some shiny stuff is the devil. It's the illusion of winning, you know? Like the real, do I really want to do that? Is it what I've always wanted to do? Is that the thing that is going to make me feel good about me? And the answer is no. Clearly, no. I was doing it. I was going to do it for the money and the glory. My addiction almost got me killed because I probably wasn't going to make it. Having 7 skateboard sessions in the last 3 weeks is not a lot. You know, the good guys, you know what? How many times they skate? Every day. All year round. I'm like, I skated 7 times in 3 weeks. I am better than I've ever been. That's not true. But little ideas, bing, it'll go viral. It's like, whoa, ego, you know? You 10 grand, you go to Costa Rica, bing, and you're like, oh, it's worth it. And then people said that I couldn't make it, and then I did make it. Bing, like fuck you, fuck who? Who are you talking to? Somebody on Twitter? Are you serious? Like you don't think I'm a man because I didn't do it? What is that? No one's even slid down it. I'm the only one. And even if they did, who cares? But anyway, when my son called me and said, please don't do it, and I was like, I'm not going to do it. And then Tim walked over to the gate to get me and was like, don't worry about it, man. Oh, what an asshole that guy is, you know? Like, he came over and was like, hey, man, don't worry about it. Like, you know, like, as long as you're safe. Like, I think he didn't want me to do it. And I don't think he was worried about giving me 10 grand. I think he was like, man, I don't want Jason to get hurt. And, you know, like, he actually gave a shit. And he was like, don't walk off, man. Like, you know, let me take you to dinner. You know, let's just shrug it off, man. You'll be all right. Like, don't worry about it. And I think for the first time ever, when I've done something where I said I was going to do it and then I and then I chickened out because it's happened in my life. I don't want to say I'm a coward. I mean, I said that when I posted, that I'm a coward, but that's my ego, It's my ego feeding in. Like, if I say I'm a coward, then I can feel sorry for myself. And if I feel sorry for myself, I can find a reason to run, to, do some drugs or do something that will again perpetuate the cycle of feeling bad for making a mistake and doing something wrong, and then the next thing feeling bad, running, and then next thing what? Why not smoke a joint? Why not have a beer? Why not do some kratom? Why not do this? Next thing you know, your life is ruined. You have nobody around you anymore because you burn all your bridges. That's why I can't do any of it, And I have to work. I have to work on the program. People are like, man, how do you get sober? You got to work. How do I bench press 250? You got to go and bench press 100 millions of times and then go to 150. That's how it works. How do I do 540s? Do 360s, then 180s before that, then this before that, and all this work, monotony. Sometimes it's really boring. Sometimes it's like not fun. Sometimes it's humiliating. Sometimes you feel like an insignificant turd. But you just keep going. You keep working. How do I get good at comedy? How come that person's better at comedy than I am, and I'm better than they are? Because they've worked. Because you work. Well, that guy didn't work as much as me. So what? Who cares who works more than you? Who cares about any of it? The most important thing when it's on the table and you're about to die, what is the most important thing that you did? And you just don't think it's going to happen to you. You don't think you're going to die. The only people that think they're going to die are people that have died and woken up or been on the hospital bed and they're like, you're going to die. And then they don't die. And then they have this new outlook on life. Soldiers that have had bullets whiz by and watch their friends die in their hands. Those people understand how important it is to have a life. What is important in that life? It's your friends and your family. That's it. If you have a girlfriend or a wife, that's the most important thing you have in your life. It's the most important thing you will ever have in your life. Cherish it. Extra boobs in my life mean nothing to me now. Because I don't know how much longer I'm going to live. And it haunts me. It haunts me in the most glorious way ever. I am haunted by death because I understand that life is not forever. And I cherish every day. And dropping in that thing for 10 grand and having an 80% chance of going to hospital or dying, it wasn't worth it. And when I backed out of it and was like, don't do it, my ego attacked the crap out of me. It was like, you're a piece of shit. You're a pussy. You're scared. You're a coward. And my sobriety and my work, it's not the sobriety, it's the work that I've put in to stay sober, said, hey man, you're alive. You are not in hospital right now. You don't have a critical illness. You have your whole body to move around. You are loved. Your son doesn't want you to do it because he loves you. Your girlfriend doesn't want you to do it because she loves you. 2 people that reached out that really didn't want you to do it because they would rather you weren't good at anything, but just alive so that they could say they loved you. That's winning, That's what the winning hand is. Like making some drop in. Going on, so don't go on vacation. I'm alive. I can go see my kid. It's not that easy to do, but I can still figure out a way to see him. He's very busy. But yeah. What I'm trying to say is I didn't do it, and I don't really mind it. And it's only been one day. And usually, if I was to do something that I really wanted to do and I really mentally prepared, physically prepared to do it, and didn't do it, it would eat me alive for a long time. And it would eat me. The ego would get in there, make me feel bad, and then I would use drugs and alcohol and sex, all the same thing to me, to run from it, which means I would no longer face the fact that I did not commit to making that. And then every now and then when I got a little sober, I would burn, and then it would start to burn, and I wouldn't know what it was that was burning me anymore. I would just be like, man, I don't feel very happy today, and I don't know why, because I forgot the reason in the first place that made me run. These are life lessons, you know? But instead, I faced it completely sober. Yeah, man, you were too scared to drop in down that thing because you were too scared about getting hurt. And it's okay. It wasn't, if you hadn't, you know, I mean, would I drop in to keep my girlfriend alive? Yeah. But it wasn't for her life. It was for money, which is not that important. So I don't feel that bad. Kind of okay with it. It's weird. I kind of feel loved. And that's kind of all I need. So, ridiculous way to figure that out, but yeah. I'm kind of relieved, you know? It's like, I think I made a good decision. And I think my ego, you know, because that's my addiction, is still going to poke pussy. And I'm like, no, maybe I am. I don't really care. I'm alive. I do have a lot of skateboards that are really big, too big, because I was like, I think I need this size board, and they're too big. So I want to give boards away, but I don't know how to do that. How would I do that, Zach?
We can do a giveaway on YouTube.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do a giveaway on YouTube and give away some boards. And most of you don't actually skate, and you put them on the wall, so it won't matter that these are giant boards. Text messages. Hey, it's Katrina from Colorado. Just wanted to tell you guys, finished my last day of chemo today. Oh, and I'm telling you guys because I want to thank you for being a part and helping me through my journey. I look forward to every new episode because it brought a distraction from the rest of my shit that was happening in my life. I've been a listener for 16 years, and you've helped me get through some stuff that you deserve to hear. And you deserve to hear how much you are appreciated and loved. Picture from when I met you in January at Fort Worth. Highlight of my year. Thank you. I remember her. That's awesome. See what I mean? You don't realize you can just have your life taken away from you, you know? It's not worth risking it for money or a pat on the back or whatever, so to speak. Someone on Saturday said, "You are a cool person. Wish you would talk. Wish you would talk, but you have your life. So maybe." What the hell? That maybe I'll get to the rest of those text messages later when What the man? Some crazy people out there, man. What else?
Are those boards Boonies boards or are those?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do a skate park day one too.
Dude, you know what he said? I said I teach people to skate, and I was like, I want to do a thing to like help Vert Alert and go to Utah and like do like skateboard, like teach a bunch of kids how to skate and and like maybe do it on the news or something to promote Vert Alert. And he was like, if you do that, I'll give you a bunch of skateboards to give to the kids. Like the dude puts a lot of money into skateboarding. Like the guy is like was extremely excited about this contest and like just trying to bring, he's got ideas about how to make skateboarding exciting and bring money into the industry. And look, I went to dinner with all of them, and there was one guy that was like, like a trans woman is a dude. And I was like, I just started laughing because I thought he was joking. And he was like, and I'm like, well, trans women are trans women, dude. And he's like, no, man, they're dudes. And I'm like, you're saying that aggressively, like, I'm like, I'm friends with some trans women, and do you want them to go to the man's bathroom? Because people would freak out because you wouldn't know that was born a man. I just don't see the problem here, like, and your tone is aggressive. What is your real, there's something else, there's some other problem that you have. But that's, and honestly, if at my gaydar was going off a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
projecting, scared.
A little bit, dude. And look, I don't know that, I don't know. I'm just saying, I was like, your voice sounds gay. It does. And I don't know if he is or he's not. I'm sure he's not. But it also, I think the thing that I've noticed is like, you're not triggering me. I don't care, like, the earth is flat. Okay. I don't care. So there was a bit of an eye-opening experience there with those guys where I get how people, you hang out with Tim Pool now, you're and I'm like, the guy loves skating. He's a real skateboarder. And he hangs out with all kinds of people. That's the other thing. Like, you guys all come and meet, like, Louis J. Gomez, Big J, all those guys, Skankfest. They hang out with, like, all those guys. And nobody seems to care about that. It's just like and I'll say it, the libtards of the world are like, now I hate you because you associate with them. And I'm like, dude, you're all better than that. Live your lives. Like Mayhem. What's the guy that I talked about that I didn't know that was an announcer at my event that Lewis had? He was sitting next to me. That's Sam, like a white supremacist. What?
Sam Hyde.
Yeah, Sam Hyde. I don't know who this is. You know what I mean? Like I'm out here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to be cool. But Sam Hyde had an argument with Mayhem on some other podcast about how, it's a white genocide. Like a guy is, I think he's racist. I think he is. I don't know that for sure, but boy, did it sound like it at the time. And Mayhem talked to him. Mayhem got a ride with him to that podcast. They're friends. Big J and Lewis are friends with that guy. You guys, and Lewis is Puerto Rican, and he's friends with Sam. None of it matters, But I think if because I've been such a libtard in the past, the people that listen to this show are like, wait, you're going to associate with them? Then you're a bad guy. And I'm like, dude, you got to let it go. You got to let like if Tim Pool is like, hey, fag, you're not allowed to go in the bathroom. I'd be like, really, dude? But he's not. And it's like, and I feel like people on social media would never, first of all, you're never going to listen to this. You only just take the clip and run with it. And even when you take the clip, you run with the bit that you heard, not the bit that I actually said. You're insane. You're insanely possessed by the bullshit smoke of social media, and you twist and turn about it on both sides. I heard it this weekend with people, Republican people, like, meh, 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 meh. And then you get your libtards that are like, meh, 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 meh. You're all like, whoa, what if? And this is, and Earth flat, and the moon's made of metal. I'm just like, dude. I love my girlfriend. I love my kids. I love skateboarding. I love boxing. I love candy. I love my friends. I love my animals. I love my horse. You know? Like, what if the Joe Rogan manosphere? I don't care. Kill Tony's killing comedy. I don't think that's true. But if you think that, I hope you don't think about it too much. You know, I wish that we all had a horse and we could all feel the love of a horse with no words and no social media, just the connection to another soul. Feel that and shut the fuck up, you know, because you're all a bunch of Karens. You are. You've got no leash on your dog, you know? Especially if the person that has no leash on the dog is black, then you really got a problem. You know, Jeff Dye seems like a cool guy. What do I know? You know, I saw a thing where he was like, I was mad at everybody at the Comedy Store because I wasn't accepted. And now that I'm accepted, I like it. Because you're not accepted, you get mad. Because you're insecure. You all are. You know? Like, I had the world record for jumping into a thing where nobody would do it. It was psychotic, and I did it. And then the other day, I was going to jump in this thing, and I was scared because I get scared. Sometimes I get scared. I think the most courageous thing that I've ever said is I'm scared because you just lie and say you're not. I'm not scared of nobody. People that go, soldiers, Tim Kennedy's scared. That was a bad person to choose. He has been to war. I believe that. And when he was there, he was scared. Did he go? Would he go again? I think he would. But you're scared. We're all scared. And I think we're more scared of admitting we're scared than being scared. If that makes any sense. So what if you're scared? It's alive. You're alive. You're a human being. You get hurt. People hurt your feelings. People do things, and sometimes they regret it. People make mistakes. You're a person. That's what we do. That's what makes us human is whoops, you know? And then you don't own it. You don't want anyone to pick on you. See, gotcha. You're scared. Well, I'll tell you, I'm scared. Scared. I've done all kinds of, I've cheated on my wives. I've had interactions with gays. I've done gay things. I've done things with trans people. You know what I mean? I've been racist. There you go. Ooh-ah. I've thought racist thoughts in my life. Some of you won't admit it because then it'd be like, ooh, gotcha. You know, I'm going to make this. If we make this a clip, I will be ruined. Ruin me. I don't care what any of you think about me. People that really know me, that's it. If I'm your friend, I have got your back. And I love people. I love the world. I love the flowers and the sky and the moon. And I believe that the space is real. I don't believe it's a picture. And I believe in a higher power. It might be Jesus. I don't know. I love Jesus. Could that be controversial? I don't know. I don't care. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I am not folding to what you want in your life. Pigeon, nah. I'm doing whatever I want. I will say whatever I fucking want. You know, we're all not as cool as we think we are. You know? Joe Rogan is a pygmy man. Make that a clip. He's a little guy. And, you know, he had fake hair. He tried to get fake hair, which means he is insecure. He wanted to be a handsome man, but now he's like a little nugget man. Ooh, ah. You don't like Joe. No, I'm not saying you don't like Joe Rogan. I'm just saying he's insecure, just like you're insecure. Everybody's insecure. The president has a comb over. Shave that shit. Why not? Because he don't want to show you that he's bald. I'm bald. Ugh. Kind of fat. Ugh. I'm kind of old. I'm getting wrinkles in my neck. Ugh. I don't care. One of my eyes does not work as good as the other one. I take boner pills. You know why? Because my dick doesn't work as good as it used to. Use that as a clip. Everybody gather around and go, yeah, told you, yeah. You're gay, you're a pussy, your dick doesn't work, you got no hair. You said something bad about Joe Rogan. I don't give a fuck what you think. I answer to none of you. Talk shit on social media. Talk shit to my face. Fight me. I don't care. Knock me out. I'll wake up. I don't care. I do not sweat the world. I do not sweat you. None of you should sweat anybody. We're all living in this thing. What if he said this? What if you said that? What if you associate with that person? I don't give a fuck. I really don't. See me on the street. Get the Diaz brothers to beat me up. I don't give a fuck, man. Sick of sweating anybody. It's what you say. People talking shit on people for skating or hanging out with other people that skate. I don't give a fuck, man. I really don't. Oh God, I'm gonna sell insurance. You know? You know why I want to sell insurance? Because I don't want to answer to any of you. I want to work, get enough money to not answer to fucking anyone. And this is at the end of the podcast, which means most of you will not hear it because none of you listen. Probably watching Tiger Belly, you know? Ooh, you said Tiger Belly. Am I talking shit? No, but let's just say I am. Just for shits and giggles. No one's going to see it. Tom Segura's fat. No one's going to see it. No one's going to care. Seems like a nice guy. I say whatever the fuck I want. Fucking answer to any of you. None of you. Ruin me. I don't have anything. You're not going to be doing shows at the Comedy Store? I don't do shows at the Comedy Store. You're never going to be at the, what is it? Mothership. Probably. I don't think this counts. It doesn't mean anything. You know? Like, you don't know Joe Rogan. I don't know Joe Rogan. Maybe he's a really nice guy. I don't know. I don't care, you know? Brendan Sharp. Oh, dumb. Fucking, He was always nice to me. I don't know. You know? Chris D'Elia. You guys go see him. You go buy tickets to him. I feel like there's proof that guy like really likes like underage women. I feel like there's proven. It's what I hear. I don't know for sure, but that's what I hear from a lot of people. Like I'm not going to say their names. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. But I believe that there is factual proof that he likes them very young. And I'm a person people have had sexual relationships with me when I was very young. That did some damage. I bounced back. I'm okay. Bit tweaked, but I'm okay. But that guy's fucked up. And some people I know hang out with that guy. Should I smash those guys with a brick when I see him? Should I smash him with a brick when I see him? this is. I mean, there's an argument there, but obviously, no. You know, I don't want to go to jail.
Is this a bad time to plug the Comedy Store date?
Wait. Oh, I am doing a show at the Comedy Store. This could be the last one. After this podcast, who knows? Maybe tickets that are available. Wait, are they available?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nobody's watching this. What is it? 9 people? Nobody cares. But yeah, the Comedy Store, Jason Ellis and Friends, war stories. I got people talking about some heavy stuff that has happened in their life and doing stand-up. But, you know, we're talking about Mayhem's going to be there. Salema Mabama Masakela's going to be there. Whitney Cummings and me, you know. And then I don't know who else. I got to pick some other people. But it's going to be a big show. Could be the only time that ever happens. I think the great thing about this podcast is no one's going to know. Oh, that's not true. Sometimes I'll say something on here and then somebody will get it and then send it to the person to try to make my life more difficult. Somebody did that the other day. And guess what? Nice try. But guess what? That person that you sent that to, yeah, they reached out to me. And guess what I think? I don't care. I'm me. I said it. Own it. Like I said, stomp me out on the street. You know? I just don't care. I am me. I cannot turn me off. And I don't want to. And I don't live in fear, you know? If you don't like me, I don't care. This podcast makes zero money. So you're not going to have any more sponsors. You know what I want to do? I want this show to be sponsored by My Pillows. I'm not even joking.
That's Tuesday, October 21st, 8 p.m.
October 21st, 8 p.m., the Belly Room at the world famous Comedy Store. Big Zaddy Jace Cakes. I'm a Zaddy now. I forgot. Big Zaddy is going to be there telling jokes. I'm real good at that. And I am not going to be scared to say I got a whole bunch of new material and it is inappropriate and it is going to get a bunch of comics to not like me. And I say this, we're making fun of the world, right? So I can make fun of it. Well, you can't make fun of people? What happened to making fun of everybody? What happened to comedy? We're not allowed to tell jokes anymore? You know what I mean? Like, just tell it. Say what you want to say, whatever you want. Use that as a clip. I was in a Cybertruck this weekend.
Wearing Crocs?
I didn't have Crocs on, but I was in a Cybertruck. What happened to comedy? You know? And you know what? It's pretty spacious. It's pretty luxurious. It works on your phone, but if you want your friend to drive you home, you have to give them the app on your phone, and that takes like 20 minutes. If you had a normal car, you just give him the keys and then he drives off. It's not that convenient. Not very convenient at all. You want to open the door, you got to press a button instead of pulling the handle. Amazing. I don't care what you think. I know what's in here. And in here. The internet can suck my butt. Weak ass pussies. You're all on the internet talking smack on each other. You get home and you start taking shits and type me. Go outside. Go lift some weights. Get ready. You know? Get adrenaline, get pumped. do a burnout in your car, but you can't do a burnout in your car because you got a battery car and it won't let the wheels break free. What the hell, the world? You know, get a clutch. Wham, wham, wham. You ain't doing that. You ain't trying to bench press. You ain't trying to learn to do boxing or anything. Go skate, go surf, ride a wave. God made a wave, the momentum of the thing in the ocean that came from miles and miles away, and then you paddle, and then you ride the wave. You ride Mother Earth. But you know what you're doing? Farting on the internet about how somebody you don't like is hanging out with somebody you don't like, or you don't like this thing or something else that you don't like. Bitch ass, suck a butt, fat, lazy, cancer, weak. Oh, vaccine. Shut the fuck up. I don't care anymore. You're all full of shit. You know? Get fit. You know? Drink all day. Don't just have a couple beers at night. You're fat. I'll catch you, you know? You're going to beat me up. You just had like 7 cheeseburgers this week and you drink beer every night and you're going to see me on the street and you're going to jump me. It's going to go horribly wrong for you, dude. Horribly wrong. And guess what? You're actually not going to do that. You're just a fucking telephone tough guy. And it's your beef. You got beef with me. I don't care. I'm going outside. I'm going to go outside in the sun. I'm going to lift some weights. I'm going to bang my chick. And then I'm going to go hug my horse. 1,200 pounds of love. In the sun. And look at the sky. I'm going to pray to God. This time it's going to be Allah. Oh, actually, Allah's about. I don't fucking care what you think. I don't care what your God thinks. My God loves everybody. Maybe it's Jesus. Maybe Jesus loves everybody. Maybe some people use Jesus and say that he doesn't love everybody. He only loves these people. Fuck those people. My Jesus loves everybody. Except Crystalia. Oh, come at me. All right, I got to go. If this show gets really big, I'm going to have so many people hate me. There's so many bits, Zach, that you can use as promos for this episode that are going to kill. Everyone's going to love it. Everyone's going to be like, you know what? I don't think I've agreed more with a guy that's talking on the internet ever in my life. I understand. Everybody that's listening right now that is in the typing going, man, I love Jason Ellis, and boy, is he just bringing the facts, and boy, do I agree with everything he says 100%. I know. You're welcome. Enjoy. Check it out. There's plenty more where it came from. I'm so right and so loved and so fucking what? Don't die.